Okay, I'm with Nick. Hi, Nick. Hi. Uh, we just came from a home of some people we know that are on vacation and they have pets. And this isn't the first time we fed their pets before, right? While they were
No,
gone.
no, it's not the first time.
So we've gotten to know these pets intimately as they know them intimately and their routines and their, what they like and stuff. So what kind of pets do they have, Nick? And don't
So
say the pets' names.
I'm
We
not.
don't want to dox the pets.
I'm not.
And don't say the people's names. We
I'm
don't want
not.
to dox them.
I'm not. So they have two cats. They take care of. They take care of one outside and one stays inside. They also have a little lovebird, which doesn't really need. Which doesn't really need that. Which its food and water doesn't really need to replace all that often, because that that's basically how it is. I don't know. Um, and also they also have a crow.
And they have
Yeah,
a crow. So our story is mainly about the crow
yeah,
and how that relates to the gospel of Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Um, so the crow they've had for several months, and it was
Mhm.
because
Because it's a rescue.
it was a rescue, and they've tried to let it go,
Mhm.
but it won't. It's attached to them now. Crows are smarter than we give them credit for sometimes, right?
Yeah,
You know a lot about birds, right?
yeah,
So what are crows kind of like? They're almost like in the family of the mockingbird too, huh?
yeah. Also, kind of in the parrot. Also,
The what?
in the parrot.
They can crows learn to talk?
Yeah, I saw,
Really?
I saw, I saw the. Yeah,
Or
I saw this video
or is that a
that
raven?
ravens are kind of like crows. Yeah, so if a raven can learn to talk, then I could guess a crow could learn to talk.
Okay. So as I was waiting in the car this morning, Nick had to go check the doors, make sure they were locked as we left. Um, the here, let me do this. I was thinking about how we drive by crows all the time. We see them in the parks, we see them in schools, we see them in the cities, and we think of them as just mere scavengers, uh, almost like vermin, kind of. They're we don't think much of a crow, and we don't think about their individual personalities. Because when you see crows, they call it a murder, right?
Hmm.
Is that what they're called? A murder is
Technically,
a basically a flock of crows,
yeah.
which is a weird term. I think there's there's some history in how those some guy came up with all these terms for different animals. Like one guy did that. Anyway, uh, you see crows and you don't think much of them. They're all the same color. They all look the same. They're identical. And then I was thinking about how intimately this family and us have got to know the crow. The crow likes to get up on your arm
Uh huh.
and get on your shoulder. He'll almost purr, huh?
Yeah,
And
technically.
he likes to be pet. And when you're petting him, he closes his eyes and he goes like this, and he won't let go of you. And he's got little baby toys out there, and you play with them with the little toys. And but he was a wild crow at one time.
Yeah.
And then I thought about how Heavenly Father knows every crow.
Hmm.
Like he knows us. You might be in a big city and see many people. You might be at Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
Or the beach, and you just see dozens of people, and they're just at times, you're in a mechanical mode, and you're just thinking those are just they're people. They're people. There's lots of people, and you pass by them, and you nod. Maybe you don't nod, and they're just people,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Heavenly Father knows us intimately and individually, like we knew that crow,
Yeah.
and we know that crow, even though that crow can be amongst many other crows, and they're all rah, rah, rah,
Yeah.
and they're all trying to fight over an orange or whatever.
Yeah.
But but as we got to know this crow, you think about how Heavenly Father knows all of his creations individually. So when he is in our presence someday,
Uh,
whenever that is, he will know. He knows every bug. He knows every. Our Heavenly Father knows every living species, everything in the ocean, right, Nick?
yeah.
He knows that well.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that fish, and they all have their little intricate personalities. Anyway, I just thought that was neat. If we can know that crow, get to know that crow on an intimate basis, what if we knew all the crows
Mm-hmm.
and knew them individually? We wouldn't see a murder of crows the same way, would we?
Mm-hmm.
We would see them all as individuals.
Yeah.
So anyway, we thought that was neat. Uh, also, we had an opportunity. Well, I had an opportunity to give a Book of Mormon away to our neighbors.
Hmm.
Our neighbors who are they've only been here from Mexico for 2 years. They don't speak a lick of English, do they, Nick?
Yeah. They are pretty good at it, but they
Well,
do
not
know a lot of.
no, they don't know. No, not these neighbors.
Oh, the oh
New neighbors,
I thought.
and I think they're even from. I think he said Michoacan. But we had this conversation outside, but I had to use Google Translate because I didn't go on a foreign speaking mission.
Hmm.
But we held a conversation, and then I got into the church, and I had two Libro de Mormons, and I told him about it, and tres nefi. I marked that little page. I said, read this primero, and gave it to him, and he said, yeah, I'll read it. First, I asked him, I go, do you read a lot? And he said, yeah. And he's Catholic. He goes to the Catholic Church, and they're active in the Catholic Church. So anyway, I had an opportunity to do that yesterday, and every time you have that opportunity, it really fills your spirit. Every time you have an opportunity to minister, share the gospel, uh, do good things to people, smile at people, you're doing the Lord's work. So anyway, the moral of the story is that Heavenly Father knoweth the crow, right?
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.